the week of April 11th, well into it this time. Already this month is starting out so fast. New setup, better lighting. I'm not with my back to the door. The lights aren't weird. I don't feel like my face is in a corner, so we've got so much better energy here. Let's take a look and see what's going on for Taurus this week. And we will go from here. All right, Emperor. First thing that comes out the gate. Emperor, Three of Coins, Queen of Wands, Page of Swords, and the Empress, or I'm sorry, the High Priestess. Interesting combination. So the Emperor is all about leadership. When we look at the Emperor, that's somebody that's extremely independent. When we look at this, it's somebody that's taking leadership, getting things done, stepping out. Like, this is somebody that doesn't ask questions before they go to get something done. It's like, okay, if you want something done right, you do it yourself. This is someone that's very direct, very bossy. Then I see the Three of Coins, which is working a lot, and Queen of Wands. This is our management, work, the way that we do business, the way that we handle things in the structure of our business. We have the Page of Swords and the High Priestess. Now, the Page of Swords usually indicates energy that has to do with snappy, like you're feeling snappy, you're feeling short-tempered, you're feeling a little out of whack. It doesn't mean that you're lashing out, but it just feels like this frustration that's building. We have the High Priestess too. Now, the High Priestess is intuition, it's psychic ability, it's secrets, it's the moon, it's emotions. It's kind of a little bit of the deeper thing. So maybe you're asking yourself, like, is my work and what I'm doing with my money in alignment for what I want for myself? I'm seeing the Strength card pulling on past experience in order to use wisdom moving forward. You have the Queen of Wands moving forward into the King of Wands, and then you have the Ace of Wands. This is all having to do with work, labor, the things we put our energy into. The Ace of Wands is our card for having everything that we need. It's literally a laboratory. We have a guy in here who has this energy of, you know, I have all the equipment. I have all the knowledge, the experience. This is Google in a pocket kind of thing. You have what's necessary to get things done. It's just maybe you haven't done it in the way that you have now, or that you have these new ideas. So you're wondering, you know, how do I put this into play? We have the Strength card, like I was saying. That's your energy for feeling as if you want to come at something from a place of wisdom rather than reaction. I do see some education, possibly taking a class or doing some study. There's the Two of Wands, which is part of the problem with trying to figure out how to move forward, because you have the Ten of Wands and the Two of Wands, or I'm sorry, Ten of Coins and the Two of Wands, which is indecision. You have advice coming from different areas and you're not quite sure like how to navigate the next few steps without, you know, you're trying to make sure you have the right advice rather than just hearing other people's opinion. I do see the Hangman, and the Hangman is our card for pauses. And spring is a really good reminder of pauses, because we come out of winter and we're super excited for the weather to change things. But like, I've been planting seeds and I'm getting my little seedlings, and now I have this seed and I want my tomato. I want my tomato right now. I want my pepper. I want my tomato. I want to see my flowers. But here's the truth. We can't force it, right? And so this is the Hangman. This is waiting. This is just allowing things to unfold, because there's a lot of growth that does happen in these fallow pauses. And, you know, we have this tendency to want to microwave our lives and get our results right away. But what's true is there's phases for everything. And when we have this energy, it can be frustrating because we don't feel like we can see any movement. But there's things going on behind the scenes for you. And look here, there's also this little idea about investment where, like, how am I going to be judicious with my money? It's beautiful. I like it. It's not chaotic, truly. It's just where your brain is at right now and how you're looking to navigate these next steps. And you want to make sure you do it both in A, leadership, and B, with wisdom and using your intuition. That's a fine line, right? How do I be direct without listening to this? This is matching those two and bringing them together in the heart. And the best way to find that is you can be a leader in love, right? And you can use your intuition, and they can get you in the same place, but using both is a masterful way to approach things, right? And you are trying to get some advice. You're trying to make sure that you have, you know, enough information to move forward. But again, don't forget the Hangman. Pause. It's a pause. So this isn't one of those moments where you push, prod, pull, mess with. You just got to wait and see how this plays out for you. I'm going to pull cards for you from Mystic Dreamer while I shuffle. Book your one-on-one, karmaondeck.com. I do have the next series coming up for Tarot 101 if you want to get in on that. It's a lot of fun. We do have breakout sessions. We go over the majors. We go over the minors. We go over the spreads, question and answer, tips and tricks. I'd love to see you have this little tool in your tool belt. It's fun. So let me know. Please join me on my YouTube, Karma on Deck, so you can see these picture in picture. That's for Instagram. All right, so your moon. So your moon is how you're thinking, feeling. Two of Swords. Again, the first card that comes up is indecision. So you have these two crows on either side of her little throne here, and she's rooted in red, and she's trying to figure out, like, where is my root and how do I move forward with the right advice? This is the definition of analysis paralysis, kind of feeling stuck. The Two of Cups, love is on your mind. Eight of Cups, which is wanting to walk away from situations that aren't serving you and really not liking how certain things are in play. With the Four of Cups, it's things in front of you are missing just one more component. It's like, great guy, but no chemistry, all chemistry and a terrible guy. It's like this one thing is kind of missing. You do have Gemini in play, the Lovers card, which is that dichotomy. Now, this isn't my favorite card. The Lovers card has to do with an internal struggle or finding balance. In a lover-lovers relationship, that correlation, that would be looking at how you have the inner dynamics between you and another individual. And so it's not always equal. One person's in control, and then you swap the ball back and forth. I call that the great tango. So that, again, goes with your Two of Swords, which is going back and forth with things. We have the Seven of Swords. Now I've been talking about this card recently because we did, in a lecture I was teaching on the minors of swords, I was talking about the Seven of Swords being sneaky. If you guys get my readings and I say he's behaving sneaky or he's just not telling you everything, this isn't exactly a lie. It just means they don't want to, doesn't really want to give all of the information sometimes, right? And sometimes they don't want to go and let you know all of their moves. So this sometimes is keeping things close to the chest. But if you look at this card in its entirety, every card has a positive and negative affect, even though there's very few cards that are just terrible, which is the Tower or the Devil, which the Devil isn't even bad. It just tells you the things that are afflicting you. We have the Seven of Swords, and that's our card for making the best of any situation. So this is literally a depiction of someone in a battlefield after the battle's over, and they're collecting things that they can use to make them useful. It's literally collecting these swords. That steel can be turned into anything or resold. So this is making good of a bad situation, and that's sitting right next to the Six of Swords, which means that you'll see that things are going to start getting easier. Think of an ice cube that's melting. You can't see it melt, but it does ease up a little bit, so the pressure should be coming off of you if you're feeling that. On to a new beginning. Then you have the Six of Pentacles, which is charity, but I can't tell you that your attitude will improve right away. It's going to take some time for that to happen. We do see the Knight of Swords, and the ending card for this is the Star card, Aquarius, and the Star card has to do with hope, alignment, looking for things in a better light. So with all of that in play, you also have the Six of Pentacles, which either you'll be receiving some charity or gifts of support, or you'll be that supportive individual, because if you look at the Six of Pentacles, she's dishing out some coin, and this coin is gifts of charity, gifts of love, gifts of energy and effort. And this isn't terrible. It looks good too. There's a lot of new beginnings for you. Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords, Two of Swords, and the Lovers tells me you're still sitting right here. So what does it take to make things shift? Movement perpetuates movement. So we talk about decision-making fatigue, where you get so many choices that you have to make that now you're suddenly going, ugh. Make one decision, one choice to make things a little better. And after a few days, you'll start to see that there's momentum going on. So motion perpetuates motion. If you're still feeling stuck with that Hanged Man, do something about it. I also see the Queen of Wands, which as I'm putting these up, I'll talk about her for a minute. The Queen of Wands is all about image. Now, in the negative aspect, it could be the person that's on the social media, what do you call that? The Instagram model, right? And it's like how things look. However, that card is also about image, and you're trying to maintain your image through these choices that you're making by having integrity and making good choices and setting an example. So I see that being a big role in how it is you're making your next moves. So keep that in mind too, that, sometimes what you look like doesn't matter. A make is a make, and who cares what it looks like? But there is something about this next decision making or phase for you where you want to make sure that you're looked upon in a good light. So let's pull a card from you from the Divination of the Ancients and see what your oracle card is for this week. And remember, let me know where you are in the world, how you like your reading, how you felt it went, what your energy's been like this week, and if the reading resonated with you. Please join me on my YouTube, Karma on Deck, and I'll catch you over there. Here, and then you have the other thing I'm telling all you guys on the other social media platforms is, yes, I come on here and I do live, but the value in going to my YouTube is you can catch your videos in a playlist. You can always find your Taurus video, or you can always find your Aquarius video in the playlist, and they're always lined up, so you don't have to go through my timeline to find these. So anyways, your card for this week is Footprints, and it says, direction. So it's funny to me that we were just talking about this indecision. And remember, indecision is a decision. Staying stagnant and choosing to stay in one place is really being okay with where you're at. So if you're feeling this frustration, and it's not always easy to say I'm in control and looking at it from that perspective, but we do have more control than we think. We just don't like the cards we've been dealt. And sometimes we don't want to play with a 2 of cups. We want to play with an ace, but that's what we're dealt. So sometimes, you know, making a move here, getting some direction is the first step. So no more analysis paralysis. Make a decision. 2 of Swords, break that cycle.